All right, guys, we're back in Elevator Paso. Today we are very honored to be with a very special guest. We're with Paige Fox, who is a dealer at Acura Fox. Paige, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here with you.
Thank you for having me.
Now, there's so much I've heard about you, and there is so much that you've done as a dealer. We've seen so many changes with Acura, including the moving of locations. Can you tell me a little bit about, first of all, your history? I know it's a family business.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about what it's like to be a woman in the car industry.
Sure. I would say it is very exciting, first off. I'll try and kind of paraphrase or make a Reader's Digest version of everything. But my father started the business about 40 years ago. He started in the parts department and he just worked his way up. So I have a great example and someone that I really look up to. So when I fully knew his story, that really motivated me to be in the business and actually wanting to go further and do even more. So I did many different roles in the dealership growing up. Was the receptionist, worked in the parts department, did a little bit of clerical work in accounting. They probably didn't like me too much because I don't think I filed everything correctly. But I just loved it because every day was something new and exciting and working with the different people. So I knew this was something that I wanted to do. So in order to do that, my father said, well, I need you to finish school, go out, do your own career for a while, and then come back and join the family business. So I lived in Houston and I worked for the Toyota distributor and then came back to El Paso about 5 years ago and saw an opportunity at the Acura dealership. So I've driven a lot of Acuras. They're one of my favorite cars to drive. I just have always been a fan. I've driven the TSX, the TLX, the MDX, RDX, you name it. And sometimes take the supercar, the NSX on a joyride.
Wow, nice.
I just saw there was so much potential, but that store had been, to no one's fault, but overlooked. So I thought, here's my opportunity to prove myself and earn the respect of others. And it's been a very long journey, different turnover, but I finally found a team that believed in me, believed in the vision, and believed in the brand. And because of that, we're in a brand new location. We've been here about a year, and even through with COVID, thank goodness business has been very steady. So we're very blessed. I feel blessed. And then being a woman in the business, I like it because I love the saying, haters are your motivators. I have people think maybe sometimes women are weak or sensitive and can't handle the quote unquote man's world, but I think I've broken some barriers and proved a lot of people wrong. So I love it, and especially at the Acura store, we have a female service manager, we have female service advisors, we have female internet manager. So really pro female, and they do a great job.
Is this something you're trying to implement, bringing more females into the industry?
No, I think it's whoever is qualified for the job. So I don't discriminate if they're male, female, whatever they are. If they're qualified for the job, and they have a passion for the car business and Acura and the Fox team, then I want them.
What do you feel has been your biggest obstacle in that regard?
So my biggest obstacle is recruiting and hiring. I think there still is the stigma out there that the car business you don't want to work for, it's shady. But really the car business now is the complete opposite. We provide a stable living for a lot of people, and you have to really use different tools that you've been taught at school. So math, writing, reading, language, being able to public speak, negotiate. In terms of the tech side, working with your hands, computer knowledge, that goes throughout all the jobs that we have. So it's really tech savvy, but the car business gives you the ability to make a really good living without a college degree, to provide for your family. So just trying to get the word out there that hey, the car business can provide you with a great livelihood, and so something to consider.
So is this something that is ongoing all the time? Are you hiring all the time?
Well, for the most part, we always take in applications. But my 5-year goal is to really work on recruiting, going to schools, talking about, how great the car business is, and having other people share their stories of how they got into the car business and what they've learned and have been able to accomplish.
Now, in regards to education level, if anybody's interested, they don't really need any of that. They just come in.
A high school education. I want to give everyone who's willing and passionate an opportunity. So all it takes is an opportunity, and it's up to you to do with the opportunity that you want.
Right, and for that, do they come into the agency or would it be online?
It's online on our website, any of our website, but our main one is foxautoteam.com, and there is I think it's underneath About Us or Contact Us. It's our hiring page, so it lists current opening jobs that we have available.
There you go. So you set a 5-year plan. You've been in this location for about 1 year.
Yes.
What is the projection in regards to what's after the 5 years? What can we expect to change within this site?
So, great question, because I'm always thinking future, what's changing, and we really don't know what the car business is going to look like. So, just me being able to be adapting and flexible. So for me, I would love to grow. I'd love to grow. If the car business gives me the opportunity to grow the business, great. If there's something else that I can do, help within El Paso, I'd love to do that. So I kind of think the sky is my limit, but I love this community. I love El Paso, and whatever I can do to help, support, and grow with it, I'm there.
Where do you see the future in regards to, I mean, the remote future, electric cars and the change of the industry? It seems to be going in a different direction. Or is it really?
So that's a great question, because I don't know I think it was like the early 2000s that the hydrogen fuel cell was the next greatest thing. I do think some form of that hybrid, electrical gas is still very, very important. And I still think we're working through it. But, things just change over time. So it's hard to say, in 5 years from now, there could be a next new thing. So I think what the manufacturers are really trying to do is incorporate still the both, maybe full electric, a hybrid, and then the gas. So we just kind of lean on our manufacturers to kind of know what they're doing, and then, we just support their efforts. But it'll be interesting to see what happens in just a few short years.
Right. Well, the infrastructure is definitely not there yet, but we could definitely expect some changes. There has been some charging pods popping up in the Northeast. I've seen some.
Yes, and even at the airport. And I think what's really exciting is the maybe driver assistance, or kind of the hands off the road.
Yeah.
It's neat and then a little scary at the same time, because I definitely don't think the infrastructure is there. But hey, I really like the idea of if I need to take a road trip in 10 years, I can, sleep.
Take a nap to work.
Yes.
So have you noticed an interest in these different kinds of cars?
Yes, I know. I went to a Lexus national meeting last year, and they're really working on phases for kind of that self-driving aspect. Mm-hmm. But going back to that infrastructure, and also there still needs to be some sort of human contact. It can't be fully autonomous just yet. So I think the brands are just working in phases. So it's kind of slowly introduced.
What's your favorite Acura?
Oh my gosh, well, of course I love the NSX.
Yes.
I have to say that.
Yes, definitely. And I think there's one in the showroom, right?
Well, there's the red MDX in the showroom, yeah. But what's really exciting, that car that you saw in the showroom, it's going to be fully redesigned in less than a month. We get that car
Oh.
in about 2 weeks. So the body has changed, all the inside has changed, and there's some great reviews online. So we're really excited about that car. It's the Acura MDX. It's our full big SUV.
And you allow us to come back and maybe get some film of it?
Of course.
Very cool.
You'll have to test drive it.
Promise?
Yes.
There you go. Paige, let's shift gears a little bit here. In regards to leadership, can you give any advice to any young ladies out there who are trying to do their own thing, be a leader, and they seem to be fighting against the current sometimes?
Yes, of course. So I think what has really helped me personally, I took a public speaking class, and what the teacher instructed me, and everyone in the class, was being authentic, really being yourself, because people can, whether you're speaking in front of 1 person, 10 people, 50 people, they can tell, are you being real, are you being authentic? So it's okay if you make mistakes, if you stutter, if you stumble over your words. You're being true to yourself, and also don't conform with what you think society wants, what feels right to you, what feels powerful and empowering to you. I value what other people think, but it's not what I live by. I want to live by my truths and my values and the standards that I set for myself, because if I lived for everybody else, I would drive myself crazy, because you can't make everybody happy. That's what I learned. Make yourself happy first.
And when it comes to being, once again, in leadership position, and you have to have, those serious talks with others, sometimes not just are you female, but you're also very young.
Yes.
So how do you deal with that?
So that was difficult for me at first, because I had a lot of self-doubt. I thought, okay, I'm young, I'm a female. How do I get my point across, but without being, aggressive or being a word that I can't use on here. So I just really had to channel, my inner strength and tell myself, am I doing the right thing for the business? Is this the right thing for the business? Will the outcome be beneficial for the business? And that being able to answer yes or no kind of helps guide my decisions. And again, just I can only control myself. So just staying calm and just sticking to the facts has really, helped me not get over emotional or too sensitive, things like that.
So we're talking about focusing on public speaking, being in competition only with yourself, and having a serenity, a self-control.
Yes, exactly. And it comes with time, because yes, I'm still young. I'll be 35 this year. Still have a lot of life to live. But when you're younger, gosh, there's so much outside of that leaves you with a lot of insecurity. So just really, and it's so hard, but really developing your, self, that you love yourself, and not saying I'm perfect at it, but really trying to focus on myself first, because if I'm good with myself, then I can be good and lead the team, because they look up to me, whether how old I am or male or female. I represent all the company, and they look up to me to make the decisions and guide the team in the right direction.
Give me an example though. Let's elaborate. How do you focus on yourself?
So I just take the time to, try, not consistent at it, but journal. I read just their quick meditation, phrases. Nothing that goes, above and beyond, but just little simple things. I have little reminders on my desk that if I'm distracted or feeling overwhelmed, I'm able to just kind of look at them. So some pictures, or I have like a little stress ball that just helps me kind of come back to the present moment. I think really what I've learned is coming back to present has really helped me. I can't control what's going to happen, in the future. I can't go back and change the past, but if I can stay in the present, then I can make the best decisions for the future.
That is excellent advice. And do those stress balls look like little raisins already?
Yeah, yes.
I can imagine. Before we let you go, Paige, any last words or any other advice you'd like to give?
No, I just really appreciate what you do. I mean, elevating El Paso. El Paso is such a hidden gem, and we are so special, and there's so many special people out here in El Paso. And also to young women, they really can, and I know it sounds cliche, do anything that a man can do, and vice versa. Anyone can do anything if they, really put their mind to it. So, I take the responsibility of being a role model, being an example very seriously, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today.
No, thank you very much. I do appreciate that aspect as well. I do believe there's so many female role models like yourself that need to be spotlighted. There isn't enough of that here. There isn't enough role models in general,
right?
Most especially females. I do have a 15-year-old little girl. Well, not so little anymore, but I do have all the anticipation and hope that by the time she gets to be my age, she should be able to have the world at her disposal without a lot of the hangups that some of you have had to deal with.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Can we come back and do this again another time?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.